Ingawa upinzani imekushika mkononi, bado moyo wa wako warudia. Nasonga mbele hata giza kinitesa. Nasonga mbele, najua mwanga wanilinda. Nasonga, sitakubali kuzama. Nina nguvu ya kugharama. Nasonga mbele, wajua nasikia siku za usoni wakitaja jina lako pia. Najua unajifunza, ingawa hofu imekushika rohoni.
Greetings. How's it going? Oh, mercy. It's Mitch. And can you guys hear that? Hello. Where's my audio? See, now I can't hear anything. God dang it. So here's the deal. I got new Apple, and now it's connected. All right. How's things? Now I can hear. Great. It's Monday. You know how Mondays go. Greetings. How are you? Let me know who's here in the chat. Look at that. There's a new enhancement I hadn't seen before in my eCam. It says I can now see all comments. Hello, Christina. Or I can even favorite comments. Look at that. So now I can see favorites in all comments. You guys don't get to see this stuff on the backside, do you? Christina's here. Hello, Christina. It is Monday, and I'm sitting down. Christina, by the way, is one of my movers. She's in my movers mastermind. If you're not aware of the movers mastermind, something I believe you should be in, because I think it's a game changer. The movers mastermind, our goal is to get you moving. Pretty clever, huh? Clever title. Christina says, move, join us. I agree. So, Christina, you need to come back and visit us now and then. Christina's been busy doing some other things, so good for you. Our goal in the Movers Mastermind is to get your marketing moving. I could call it the Marketing Movers Mastermind, but that would be too many M's. Christina says, and give Mitch a hard time. Yes, we have a lot of fun on the Movers Mastermind, and the whole goal is to help each other. I said the whole goal several times, didn't I? The whole goal is to get several people to build your business marketing and to get moving. Now, For those of you who do know me, there's this thing right back there. Look at that. I almost framed it perfectly with my hands. I'm going to move it maybe over here to get it off my shelves, but the UpViral team gave me that plaque a couple of months ago for reaching 250,000 leads in my business. Why am I looking funny? Well, they weren't just my leads. I don't have a list of 250,000. Those were primarily leads for my past business, which happened to do photography and video blog, and for my clients. Now, the key thing about that plaque, at 250,000, is that, and I found it, by the way, the other day. If I show you this, so 257,000 was a couple of months ago. It was a while ago. But if you imagine this stadium, this football stadium holds, it's in Texas, but there's stadiums all over the place that holds 100,000 people. And if you imagine how many people 257,000 is, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. Now, the key to that is not only just that big number, because many of you know I'm not just about big numbers. Christina will tell you I'm not just about the big numbers. The key to that is that of those 257,000, which is more than that now, 44% of those are what I call viral traffic, what Wilco calls viral leads. If you know Wilco, he's the owner of UpViral. We build your business, we build your leads, we build your email list by getting other people who sign up to use their influence to invite others. This is a totally untapped kind of market. Most people are not doing this. I have a client, by the way, welcome to those of you who are new and popping in. I am sitting down today for some reason instead of standing. I was a little lazy. And I have a new client that's starting a new campaign today. I don't know if they've actually announced anything to anybody yet, but they are running a viral challenge. Really exciting stuff. I'm really excited to see where this goes. And we are using referral tools like UpViral to get people to invite others. So if you've ever run a challenge, and I'm talking about like a 5-day challenge or 3-day challenge or something like that, and if you've ever run one, you know that people get pretty energized. If you do things right as a business owner, you can get people pretty fired up. But what if you could get that 44% that I got over the lifetime of my account? You get everybody that signs up, and that person invites equivalent of another half a person, virtually. 44% is almost half a person. So when you invite 100 people, your list grows by 144. Now, I can't promise that your results are going to be 44%. I can't promise that it'll even be 10%. But the techniques that I have and that I share and that we learn in the Movers Mastermind are helping people take their existing list, their existing people, asking them to share and raising that untapped market of somebody else's audience. So everybody that signs up to your campaign, we're asking them to share. Now, in the case of the challenge that's launching today, what we're doing is multiple things, 3 big things. Well, 4, realistically 4. The first one is that we're using the ask method, the process of asking people to refer others in the pre-challenge. So their challenge doesn't actually launch until May 3rd, which is my birthday. And it's called the community, no, I'm sorry. For some reason, my brain is drawing a blank. It's, you would think I'd remember what the heck the challenge is called. Anyway. The goal in the pre-challenge is to get people engaged, get them excited about the idea, and to invite others. And we track all of those people that are brought into the campaign so we can give you statistics about how many new people came in, how many people came from referrals, and as I keep saying, that market, that untapped market of the referrals is massive. One of our movers, AJ, did a campaign, wasn't a challenge, but it was a campaign back at Black Friday, and he had, for every person that came in the front end, he had every person that brought in 3 more people. Now your mileage is going to vary, like I said, with the 44% that I've brought in over my lifetime. Your mileage will be different. It could be 10%, it could be 500%. It's very intriguing on what can happen. And so the Movers Mastermind, our goal is to show people how to make that happen and how to methodically, month by month, build new campaigns and to get those campaigns to bring you new business. That's the goal. I was still back on the challenge with the 3 things. So during the pre-challenge, we're bringing in referrals. During the challenge itself, we are tracking people's activities to get them engaged and participating. And after the challenge, what we're trying to do is to get people to purchase. And by doing all of the engagement in the middle, more people are going to participate, more people are going to bring other people in, and therefore on the back end, what you're going to have is more sales. And everybody that is running a challenge typically has a sale at the end, right? You have something you want to offer people, whether it's a membership or a training program or whatever. And so if we could take your existing challenge and put it on steroids and add 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of people to your campaign, well, all of those things are going to be true. You're going to get more traffic, you're going to get more sales on the back end, and you're going to be much more energized, and you're going to be serving more people, which is why you went into business in the first place. I'm continuing to wait on UpViral, my friends over at UpViral, to implement something. And these headphones are new, and I've never had... The headphones I had before were on ear, and these are over the ear. And so my eyeglasses and the headphones are starting to conflict. So anyway, I'm getting a little bit of pain right there. Eventually I'll get used to it. You're not used to seeing me without eyeglasses on either, are you? So let me know what you think about building your business. Have I got ways you can do that yourself? Yes. Oh, what I started to say. I distracted myself. What I started to say was I'm waiting on UpViral to implement something. And it's now April 19th. I've been waiting for a little bit of time on this function. But once this function happens, and it should be here by the end of April, I'm hoping and praying, that we will be able to just hand you a campaign, a pre-built campaign, and have it added to your account. And that is going to be a game changer, because you'll be able to take a lot of my lessons, not only things that I teach you in trainings and other live streams, but you'll be able to have an entire campaign that I have built, customized, and I'll be able to hand it to you, and you'll be able to add it to your own account. And that's going to be a game changer. It's going to really, really change what happens with these kind of campaigns, because part of the problem is actually building them. Hey, Ian's here. Hi, Ian. Good to see you. It's challenge to be able to get a campaign from scratch. Elgin is in our mastermind right now. And bless his heart, he's been struggling for a month and a half to get his first campaign built. And I keep wanting to just be able to hand him the campaign and say, well, okay, here's all the pieces. You just modify them so they look like you need it for your business. I'm really excited about that functionality. And as I said, it's going to change the business. Ian says, did you get your headphones yet? Do you see them? This is them. These are the new headphones. These are the Apple AirPods. I'm almost afraid to take them off, because what happens is the headphones recognize that you've taken them off, and whether they're on your ear or not. And sometimes that means that audio gets paused or videos get paused. And so I'm almost afraid to take them off, because I don't know yet. I'm not experienced enough to know, because there's tight integration with the iMac. The other thing is that I also have them connected to my iPhone, and therefore when I take them off, take them on, sometimes the iPhone takes over and they're connected to the iPhone. Sometimes the iMac does, and I got to figure out how all that works. So who's in, by the way, for some reason I tapped on my phone and Robinhood came up. Who's in Dogecoin? There's my cryptocurrencies. My Dogecoin is up $1,300 today. If you've seen my posts on my Facebook timeline, I invested $200 in Dogecoin cryptocurrency way back in 2018, and that $200 is now, oh yeah, Christina has some. That $200 as of earlier this morning, well, let's see what it is now. My $200 investment is now worth, right this minute, $17,569. Yeah, talk about quite a crazy gamble. Christina says, I think 69 cents is the prediction for 420. 420. That's tomorrow. 69 cents would be freaking awesome. A couple of people have asked me have I gotten my original investment. Actually, yesterday I did sell some for 35 cents to get my original investment, my $200 back. My long-term plan is to hold it for 10 years. That was my plan going in. Neelish says, well done on investing the $200. Thank you. Good to see you, Neelish. Neelish. Ian says, well done, but be careful. At least you paid for your headphones. My plan, see, I know I'm getting distracted. My plan, and when you're investing, you should have a plan. Not saying you can't modify the plan once things happen. But my plan was to hold it for 10 years. Because if you go back and you look at things like Bitcoin right now is at 57,000-ish. Bitcoin was originally under a penny for every Bitcoin when it first came out. And it's now worth $57,000 a coin. Now, I recognize that Bitcoin has a limited supply, which made it go crazy ballistic. That's fine. And Dogecoin doesn't have a limited supply, or last I heard it was 1.2 billion or something in terms of coins. I don't ever expect Dogecoin to go to $57,000 per coin. Just not going to happen. But if it got to $10 a coin, I'd have about $47,000. No, $470,000 at $10 a coin. If it gets to $1, then my 47,000 coins are worth 47,000 bucks. Now, there's a lot of questioning, so that if you have a plan, here's my investing tip. And I've learned this. I'm 63, going to 64 next month. I have been a day trader in stocks. I have been a trader. I have invested in a lot of crap. I have invested in some good stuff. The key to my tip for investing is to hold long. So why do I say that? In 2008 and 2007, I took $7,000 that my wife didn't know about, and I invested it in Apple. At the time, it was over $100 a share. It's since split a whole bunch of times. And price equivalent, the Apple stock I really purchased at about $4, $4.50, something like that. Equivalent. It's now $134 a share. My initial $7,000 investment in Apple is now worth over $200,000. Took 13, almost 14 years for that to happen. Is it going to happen every stock? No. If I had invested in Netflix, it would have been $800,000. Should have done that instead, but who's to know, right? So my idea here, the entire point of this long-ass conversation, is that my idea of investing is long-term. Buy and hold is my process, especially what Christina said, I did too, and now it's all profit. What she's talking about is sell your initial investment. And these headphones are really hurting my ear back here. If your investment doubles, triples, quadruples, whatever, and you take your initial investment back out, then it's all profit, like Christina just said. And you can let it run and not worry about whether or not you should sell it. I can't tell you how many times people told me to sell my Apple stock. Oh, it's never going to be any higher than this. It's never going up. When it hit $1 trillion in market cap. Oh, it's not going to go any farther. It's going to crash. I can't tell you how many times people have told me, this is the top. And if you look at the chart of Apple, there have been several significant tops. But every day, it's got a new top, right? It goes down, but then it comes back up, and a couple of weeks, couple of months later, it has a new top, and it keeps going up. Nobody can predict tops. And you can take your money out, you can say, oh, this is the top, and then 2 days later, some big news comes out, and it'll go skyrocket. And you'll kick yourself. So, my idea is to buy and hold. Or do dollar cost averaging and buy on the way up or buy on the way down, however you want to do it. But those people, and you can find a million articles that will tell you this, those people that buy and hold are the ones that make the money. The people that are doing day trading, they're killing themselves with transaction fees and taxes for short-term holds. At least in the U.S., taxes on long-term investments are much lower, depending upon your tax bracket, and your mileage may vary, than short-term capital gains. I mean, I learned this when I was doing day trading. Learned it the hard way. You can trade. You could make 5% gains on a transaction. But 25%, that's going to the tax guy. Every time you make a transaction, you're having to pay tax on it with short-term taxes. Anyway, I've gotten way off track. But it's fun. And it's so much fun, as a matter of fact. My wife just decided at, I don't know what age she is, and I shouldn't say, She's decided to start investing, and she took her $200 out of her savings, and she is now playing with stocks and learning about stocks. So, no time like the present to get started. Absolutely fun stuff. It's crushing when your stuff goes down. Can't tell you how many times I've looked at the stocks and gone, man, I should have sold Apple, or I should have sold this or that. And if you just put your blinders on and come back 6 months later or a year later, surprise, it's up. And right now I'm watching Dogecoin like crazy because it's been fun. The ride up is fun. The ride down sucks. And there are downs. I mean, if you start playing with cryptocurrencies, I mean, the prices swing 10, 15, 20% a day, which is not something that happens typically in the stock market. So anyhow, thanks for listening to me babble. What's the tip of the day? Invest in Bitcoin. No. And no, I'm not investing in Bitcoin. The other thing is, I've always been an investor in low price stocks. I'll tell you a story. I was a millionaire for a day. My wife actually brought that up to me the other day. She's like, do you remember that day you were a millionaire? Back in 1998. I had invested a lot of money in a penny stock. That penny stock went crazy, like Bitcoin and like Dogecoin. Dogecoin has gone up crazy amounts in the last month or two. Much like my experience with this other penny stock. Long story, but there was a rumor that they had a contract with MasterCard. They had to do with fingerprint recognition software. And suddenly there was a rumor that they had a contract with MasterCard for nationwide fingerprint rollout. And the stock went through the moon. And people were being really stupid about it. And they were like taking their life savings and dumping it in this. And the SEC, bless their hearts, I went to bed. I don't remember, it was a Thursday, I think. I went to bed and my investment was at $1.1 million. And overnight, the SEC decided to halt trading in the stock. It was at $1.25 at the time. It had been. I purchased most of it at 1, 2, or 3 cents. Anyway, they decided to halt the stock, and they did not let it trade because they wanted to find out if this rumor was true. And they did not let it trade for another 5 weeks. And when it started trading, it was back at a penny. And my $1.1 million was back to virtually zero. It doesn't trade anymore. All of that stuff is gone. I couldn't sell it. Blah, blah, blah. Long story. But I was a millionaire for a day. So I have this experience. That I had that experience, and I have been very cautious, and I'm quite aware that Dogecoin could be another one of those. It could go crazy up for a while, and then it could sink back. I'm not expecting it to be my retirement. I've got plenty of retirement money from other sources. But if it happens to go, I have a plan. I'm going to sell a little bit at $1. If it gets to $10, I'm going to sell a whole lot more, and then I'm going to let the rest ride. Christina says, based on my story, that is why DeFi now exists. I'm not sure I know what DeFi is. Is that some protection? I don't know what that is. I should probably know what that is. Anyway, got way distracted on that topic, but that's a fun topic. It's not fun for people who buy it at 40 cents and then it drops back down. I actually had a tool that was running that showed me what the Bitcoin price was, but I don't see it. It's not in my menu bar. There it is. It's at 37.48 cents. Oh, decentralized finance. Thank you. No government halting. I get it. Which is part of, right, Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain. That's the word I'm looking for. Decentralized finance. Some people say that's bad. Some people say that's good. I tend to think it's pretty good, and I was not too excited when the SEC stepped in to protect people. Now, I am also thankful, by the way, that I didn't sell a bunch of my stock back there on that day. Or I actually did take 60,000 out, but that was like on day 2 of the 4-day run. Ian also said the same thing, decentralized finance. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Christina. The reason I was thankful that I didn't sell it all was because I might have felt a little guilty. I don't know. My life would be very different, that's for sure. But reading the stories on the day of people that had taken all of their retirement funds and invested it in the stock because how crazy it was back in the day. People need to be smarter than that. I won't say they're dumb, they're uneducated on the dangers. And I'm sure that's happened to people in Bitcoin and crypto. Maybe I ought to start a show on crypto and we'll have a conversation about that. Because I have a lot to learn. I happen to be really lucky. This is pure luck. And there are so many things that we could talk about. It is pure luck. I don't claim to be smart on this one. I am going to learn from it, though. That's for sure. And if it happens to make me $100,000 or $50,000, and at the point I take money out, that's great. I'm excited. And then I have to pay taxes on it. Woohoo! Even though it's decentralized finance, I still have to pay taxes. Dang the government. Anyway. What I need to do, here's my thought process. I have a fairly decent retirement account. And it wouldn't kill me to do some investing in some cryptos. Now, my wife says, well, why aren't you investing in Bitcoin? Because, I mean, you could buy parts of a coin. Christina says, you know what they say, death and taxes. Yep, absolutely true. I'm still holding my Apple, even though, pardon me, I always disagreed with Steve Jobs. And we have gone way down a rabbit hole, and if you're interested in this, thanks for sticking around. If you're not, that's fine too. Steve Jobs used to say he disliked stock splits. Now, Steve Jobs at the time had several hundred million. I don't know if he was a billionaire at the time. And he always said before he passed away that he didn't want Apple stock to split. Because a percentage move is a percentage move. And I always disagreed with him because I'm not necessarily found the right way to enunciate this. But in my mind, you can buy Amazon for, I don't know, what is Amazon now? $2,000, whatever it is. $1,000 a share. People's minds, they think, oh, that's way too big. And even though you can now buy partial shares and stuff, people wouldn't invest in the expensive stuff because small moves, even though it might move $20, $30, it's still percentage-wise is relatively small because, in my mind, people don't necessarily want to spend $20 more on a stock or $100 more on a stock. It's harder, I feel, to get those things to move. This is my opinion. Whereas if you're investing in penny stocks, and there's a lot more risk, I get it, there's a lot more risk, and there's pump and dump, and there's all kinds of manipulation that happens in penny stocks. But even if you're in the smaller, lower price stocks, if a stock or a crypto coin goes from $1 to $2, it feels like that's very easy. People will still get in at $2 because they feel like it's a low price thing and they can get lots of them. My feeling is, this is just my gut feeling, is that there are moves that are easier to happen. Larger moves are easier to happen in lower priced stocks or cryptos or whatever. People see the dollar figure and they're not looking purely at percentages. A 10% move is a 10% move, whether it's $1,000 or 50 cents. 10% is 10%. It just feels like that the lower price things move faster and farther because people, their perception of the dollar value, not the percentage, is easier to pay more for things or pay less depending upon which direction you're going. Anyway, I always disagreed with Steve Jobs. And I think it was proven that, because he wanted Apple stock over $1,000. And after he passed away, after a little bit of time, Tim decided to do a 1-for-7 split. So for every share of Apple stock, you ended up with 7, and the price dropped by a whole bunch. And then it split again, 1-for-4 recently. And having a lower price feels like it puts it in more people's hands. Now, the other thing that Ian just said, which is absolutely true, people need to look circulating supply as well as price. And that's the other reason that Apple's stock has gone through the moon, because they've been buying back their own stock. And as much as the senators and the politicians like to talk about how bad that is and how that just amplifies the rich, well, poor people like me can take advantage of that too, and I have. Which is why I still hold on to my Apple stock. Because when Apple's buying back their stock, they're reducing the amount of stock that's in circulation, which causes the price to go up. The law of supply and demand, as my father used to preach at me constantly. If the supply is small and demand goes up, then the price is going to go up. So it helps me to invest in that stock. And I think it helps more people invest when the price is low than when the price is high. And we and the politicians can fight all day long. But so I end up liking to purchase. I'm finally getting around to my point. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I did a little bit of research over the weekend. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I did a little bit of research over the weekend looking at some of these newish coins, crypto coins that come out. And when there wasn't even an article I was reading this morning, something blah 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 crypto was 0.0002, and then in the last month it's gone from 0.0002. I mean, that's 4 digits of decimals in terms of pennies. And it went up to like 0.001. And that was a major price swing. And when these things go from 0.001 then to a penny, which is what Dogecoin did, then it starts really looking appealing. Because if it continues, and I've looked at some of them that were several years ago that were less than a penny, like 0.005, half a penny, that are now 17 cents. Well, if you just dump $100 or $200 on several of those and just sit and wait, maybe they go somewhere, maybe they go nowhere, but your investment's $100 or $200. And if it goes from half a cent to 20 cents, well, that's what? Let's put on my math hat. That's 20,000% gain, 40,000% gain, whatever the math is. You can make some serious coin doing that kind of stuff. Or you lose it. But if your investment's just a couple of $100, who cares? And if you spread that around, you know. Here's what Christina says, and I like this. It's a real opportunity to allow the rest of us to create wealth. That's what I love about crypto. Just remember, don't invest the rent money. Exactly. Don't invest the rent money. I like that. And that's kind of what I've done, right? I've taken some of my cash that, and you know, if you go back to the $200 I put on Dogecoin, which at the time my wife knew nothing about, bless her heart, I opened a Robinhood account, right? And Robinhood announced that they were going to start doing crypto. And the only one that they were allowing that was under $1 at the time was Dogecoin. And so I was like, okay, I put $1,000 in this account. I invested it in a couple of decent stocks. It went down to $400. I was like, oh, okay, this. I've wasted all of this. And then right now, let's see what it's worth right now. I have not added anything to it in the last year. My account total value, and yes, I know I have not, it's paper money at this point. My account is right now at 20,000. Oh, went down to 19,980. Not bad for $1,000 investment. Spread across several, one crypto and several stocks. The stocks that I have, I know somebody's going to ask. I have NLST, which is a real gamble. They have a patent that is currently in litigation, and it's been in litigation for like 6-7 years. And they have a patent on the technology that's inside of computer drives. And the theory is that if they win the patent and all the courts have all their say, then the value of the stock's going to go up to $100, $200. It's currently at $2.20. I bought it at 57 cents. So that one's doing okay. The other one that I have is NIO, N-I-O, which I bought at $3.41. My average cost, I bought 35 shares. Woohoo! So 35 shares times $3.50. Well, I've forgotten what was my initial investment. Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me. $100, $150. What's that? 35 times 3.5. I'll round up. I can't type. 3.5. $125. Roughly. So I invested $125. It's now worth $1,200. So it's gone up 940%. It was at $60 a share. I had well over $2,000 in that one. They don't all work out that way. I've got some real dogs. But I've got some real winners periodically too. So anyway, there's a real long side discussion about fun money stuff. My advice is to buy and hold, or to do dollar cost averaging as you continue to buy something. You don't have to put all your money in at one time. Because that's where the fear is, right? The fear in buying a stock is that, well, what if I buy it at $10 a share and it drops to $5 a share? Well, if you put all your money in at one time and it drops from 10 to 5, then you're shitting bricks. You're like in a state of panic. And you probably sell, and then you sell at the bottom. Whereas if you can do dollar cost averaging and you buy on the way down, then you're lowering your cost basis, right? So if you get it down to, let's say you get it down to $5 or $6, and then it goes up, then you're in the green. And then when it gets to a double, whether it takes 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, sell half of it and the rest of it free. It's free. Let it ride. Let it just sit there and let it ride. See what happens. If it makes you a bunch of money, it makes you a bunch of money. My NEO, by the way, I sold half of it. I had 70 shares and I sold half of it. So it's free at this point. I'm going to let it run for a couple of years. See what happens. Anyway, that's my stock advice for the day. Which is not why I started this live stream, but it's fun. Fun, fun, fun. I have a video clip of an actor saying that on a film that I was filming at the time. Anyway, can't come up with his name right off the top of my head. Anybody have any questions before I go? I'm about to sign off. I have a meeting at the top of the hour. My wife's at the dentist. My Dogecoin is at 36 cents. It's gone up while we were talking. And that's it. Nobody's asking any questions, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you for watching and taking a distraction. If you are interested, what's the marketing tip? Well, the marketing tip was to get your ass moving. The marketing tip is to always be list building. And I often struggle with that myself. Ian asks, when did I say? Always be list building is the tip. I have several things just sitting, waiting to go in terms of list building. Actually, though, you can't. Let me throw this one at you. Oh, I gotta click that button. If you go to... Why do I not have that button ready? See, that... Always be list building. ABLB. That's not actually which thing I wanted to put up. Maybe here's one. If you go to this link, contest@buyupviral.com. I'm going to do it in Safari. Contest.buyupviral.com. There is a wait list. If you want to get on the wait list, and this will be a contest. When UpViral finally releases this new feature, this contest behind this will have some cool stuff in it. And I've broken this down for my movers that are in my mastermind. Ian asked earlier, when did you say they're releasing the templates? Well, UpViral, as far as I know, doesn't have any templates. I will be offering templates when they release that function. This is going to turn into a contest. Ian, I know you already purchased one of them, and so you will be getting the new version of that campaign that you purchased the old way. So don't worry about things. I'll take care of you, Ian. But what I'm still waiting on is UpViral to issue the function that will let me hand you a new template. And that is supposed to come by the end of April, I hope. They didn't say that date, but that's what I'm hoping, because I know there's a couple of things going on right now inside of UpViral, and I can't talk about those things, but it's delayed things for us, but it's going to be good news in the long run. And so I'm waiting on that function. When that function happens, this is going to turn from this wait list to a contest. And so if you just go over there now and register, you'll be on the list and you'll be first to know. Because I will let the people who have registered know that this stuff is ready and that the contest is launched. But I'm waiting on them. So that's what's going on. Ian says, I am planning a campaign and that update will be fantastic. I am not going to promise anything, Ian, because I have been waiting on this update since September. It's been talked about internally. Wilco mentioned it when he announced the new editor back in February on the live stream. So I'm still not sure that you should get your hopes up. It's sad. I'm sorry, but I can't promise that it's even going to be before May. I can't promise that because they're in charge, not me. And it doesn't do me any good to sell you the templates unless I just decided to put them on major sale just to have them as a sales opportunity to talk about something, but Ian says, no, your update for your page. Well, I'm not updating my page until they do their thing, is what I'm trying to say. Did I not make that clear? Or maybe I said something that but I'm holding off on several campaigns until this feature is announced. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But then, anyway, tomorrow, by the way, for those of you who are still sticking around here, tune in tomorrow to the Copilot Show. If you're on the list, show up. If you're not on the list, get on the list. Go to the upviral.com site and go to resources and look for the Copilot Show and sign up, because tomorrow we've got a very special guest, a good friend of mine, and the topic is nurturing your email lists. What should you be doing to nurture your email list? Christina Etheridge is my guest, and she is an expert on her program that she is offering is how to double your email open rate. She's an expert on open rates, increasing your open rate. I love what she's doing, and she's blessing us with a guest appearance. She's not going to sell you anything. It's nothing to sell. Advice and questions for Christina will be fabulous. I'm really looking forward to that show. I got to create a list of questions. If you have anything you want me to ask, let me know. But that's on the agenda for tomorrow. If you are paying attention to my calendar, I changed the time on this broadcast and the one I do on Wednesdays. I bumped it by an hour so I could get a few more things accomplished in the morning. What I was finding was that I was not doing the show because I wake up at 5, not by desire, and I crank out a lot of stuff between 6 and 9, and I didn't always want to take a break to do the broadcast, and so I've pushed it an hour, so that gives me a little more time to get a whole bunch of stuff cranked out. And then I'm going to go into lunch, except I have a meeting today in 6 minutes. So anyway, I've bumped my schedule by an hour, except for the co-pilot show. It's tomorrow at 9 o'clock East. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, which is my time. Christina is going to be the guest, so tune into that. It will be freaking awesome. And I'm going to go get ready for my meeting. Thanks for tuning in and asking questions and talking about crypto and marketing. And I will catch you again tomorrow and Wednesday at the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern, to talk about campaign reviews. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you soon.